Hello, and welcome to the Banker's Tech Talk video series looking at the developments in the world of fintechs. I'm Joy Macknight, Deputy and Technology Editor at The Banker, and I'm joined by Christoph Rieche, who is CEO and co-founder of iwoca, which offers flexible credit to small businesses across Europe. Christoph, thanks so much for joining us.
Such a pleasure to be here again. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, you were one of our first Tech Talk video interviews way back in like 2016. So what has changed for iwoca and what are the big milestones that you've hit?
We continue to grow really quickly and have done a lot of work on our product, and we're quite proud that we are now 1 in 10 pretty much of approvals for small business when they're looking for an overdraft type of product, which does present that we start taking some real material position in the market, and that's been a major milestone for us.
Excellent. What has been the challenges, let's say, with working with some of the big incumbent banks?
Incumbent banks, by their nature and size, are of course moving at a much slower pace than we do, and that is a given challenge. I think the other challenge is that we're catering to a customer base that they have historically neglected. So convincing them that our customer base is really critical to get more funding is of course another challenge, and one that we're working on a lot in our discussions with them.
Okay. And is there any sort of advice that you could give other fintechs working with the big incumbents?
I think to be patient is certainly one. I think successfully working with banks is a multi-year process where they also have to see that you as a partner are really viable and growing and deliver on your own product proposition. And I think the more we grow, the more credible we become to them as a partner.
Okay, and I also know you work with some of the challengers, let's say Tide, you're in a partnership with Tide. What are the benefits of working with more of the challenger, sort of more on the fintechy end of the scale?
It's a huge pleasure to work with another tech company that is growing and has our mindset of moving on quickly, and they tend to have great product propositions themselves, and then bundling our product with their product, I think, is an incredibly powerful sign to the market of what finance should look like. And we're very excited about that. And I think this is a really emerging and exciting trend to follow in how far fintechs team up to really come out with a much broader product proposition that can then compete with banks. All of us are quite fragmented, and so our marketing spend is quite limited versus the marketing spend of a single bank. So if we team up, then I think we'll have as a group a much bigger weight and probably will accelerate our growth as a group.
Okay, and obviously you deal with the SME end of the market, lending to them. Do you think that the funding gap is being filled, or do you think there's still some challenges there?
Well, it actually has widened. When we started in 2011-12, the stock to small businesses in the UK was about £165 billion and has dropped probably by about 10% since. So despite quantitative easing and huge increases in lending to consumers and in mortgage lending and corporate lending, the small business segment actually has seen a reduction in lending to them. Liquidity was virtually sucked out of that segment. So if anything, the need and urgency has increased, and we hope that we can fill this, but the void has become bigger.
Okay. My last question is really around open banking. So it came into the UK on the 13th of January. Does open banking really affect your business, and if so, how?
In our case, it has a really positive effect because we can now offer a business to directly link their account to us so that we can see their entire bank transaction history through this integration, which makes it not just more user-friendly than possibly uploading documents to us, but it also reduces fraud risk on our end and therefore enables us to make ever better and quicker decisions. So I think that levels the playing field to a certain extent, where banks historically just were in a much better position to anyone else by seeing that transactional data and reducing that fraud risk. And by leveling this, clearly that puts us in a better competitive position, and we look forward to rolling it out. And I think in a year from here, we'll be able to show the fruits of that.
Okay, and in terms of iwoca, what are sort of your next steps?
continue to grow really quickly. As I said, we've taken a fairly significant position in the market in the short-term overdraft type of products. So I think you'll see some product development on our side to go into other related product groups, and we're very excited about that.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Christoph.
Thank you.